Good morning, everyone. My name is Jerry Glochet Jr. I'm Chief of Staff for the Executive Office of the Tribal Chairwoman, Gwendena Lee-Gatewood of White Mountain Apache Tribe. How you all doing? I hope you all are doing fine. Barely got things situated here at the last second here. Let's welcome our Honorable Chairwoman, Gwendena Lee-Gatewood.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, I like the background. Looks awesome. Cool. Good display of colors there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
great.
68 degrees today outside, sunny, and it has been windy lately. Extreme fire danger, but we'll talk more about that in a short bit. Well, Chairwoman, looks like we got a few things here, so we'll just get right started. I hope all of you are doing well out there. Chairwoman, do you have any announcements?
Yes, just to let everyone know that the CBQ fire, I know a lot of people have been asking about that. The CBQ mill fire, it is still, the sawdust continues to burn. The area where it jumped the creek, the dozer managed to get control of it, and it's contained that area, and everything is currently being mopped up in that area. But the sawdust just slowly continues to burn. They have resources on it, and just want to thank the Bashas grocery stores and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for their semi-truckload of water for the community that was distributed yesterday, and the missionaries were on hand to help disperse those. And everybody out there, we're praying for your safety and well-being. I know, Jerry, that when all that started, the fire was starting to go to the power line, and they had to shut the power line off to prevent any more, hazardous situation. And then the wells need electricity to help pump the water. So when the electricity was off, and the wells were using up the water, that posed a challenge. But luckily, our tribal departments, resources from Timber Mesa Fire, Navajo County, various other entities came together and just worked throughout the night and throughout the last couple days. And hats off to Public Works, Land Operations, WMATCO, all the tribal departments, the fire department, Mark Tise and his crew, the police department, the CBQ complex staff, Donna Cooley for coming in and helping however she can, just everybody, Councilman Tise and Beach going out there and helping out. It says a lot about how everyone comes together. So thank you so much. And then also in terms of other announcements, happy birthdays to the following: Olivia Mason Sosi, Marjorie Corinchen, Ramon Riley, our very own Ramon Riley, happy birthday. Bertha Alcine, Sylvan Tortis, our Miss Indian America, and Willie Susan. She's got a birthday today. Amy Palmer, Arnold Leslie, Velda Walker, Shane Paxson, April Lavender, Daryl Bendel, Anthony Williams, John Pacheco, Jared Canty, Ramsey Kose, Sherilyn Tate, Lopez Quintero, Amanda Baja, Debbie's Wilson Zagata. He reminds me of Chuck Connors in The Rifleman. Remember Chuck Connors?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Wilson Zagata. He's tall,
All right.
and he dresses like a cowboy. And Jarvis Classe. Happy birthday to all of you.
Wow, that's a huge list.
Yeah.
Chairwoman, this past
And Eileen is saying Kamalani is 4 today. Her daughter.
Kamalani.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eileen
4
Pike.
years old. Wow.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Happy
Kamalani.
birthday to
To
you.
you. So, I have to show you this cute picture of Ramon Riley. Just the cutest. Look at his hair parting. That's our Ramon Riley there, who's our cultural resources director and advocate for NAGPRA, always doing his part to help in the cause to maintain our sacred lands, to maintain our sacred language, to maintain our sacred heritage of who we are as Indian people, indigenous people. And he travels all over and doing a great job. And he's still young at heart. And we were very thankful to him. So, and then in terms of this week's events, we had Administrative Professionals Day. We were able to distribute coffee mugs that were donated from Pinetop Coffee House. Thank you to the muffin buyers over there. By the way, they make the best iced chai over there. So anyway, just to thank them for their donation, we were able to fill it with candy, masks, and a thank you card, and had the ladies go and deliver those for Administrative Professionals Day. And every day, we're so very grateful for all of our employees. You do so much to help the tribe be where it's at. And it's been a struggle, especially with COVID-19, but you came through and we're very grateful to you. So thank you very much.
Okay, Chairwoman, I had technical difficulties earlier, so I had to leave, but I'm back on. I missed the thing on Ramon, but yesterday.
I just wanted to show you his little kid picture. He looks like Spanky from remember
Little Rascals?
Yeah. And he has a little hair part. And I commented to him, I said, "Oh, Ramon, look at your hair part." And then him being the humorous guy, he's like, "I can't part my hair anymore." But that
oh, okay. Can you twist it? There you go. Oh yeah, Ramon, huh? A young Ramon. All right. Cool. Yesterday he was on KNB. He's one of the founding fathers, I guess, and staff members. And so he was the DJ. There he is from yesterday from noon to 2:00 playing Ramon's Gold, the golden oldies. And so he did a good job, and very complicated now, the technology and stuff, but he did good. So happy birthday, Ramon, and Sweat Hog leader and elderly friend. So thank you. All right, Chairwoman. So is there anything else that, today is Cedar Creek Bull Bash, right?
right.
Councilman Ronaldo Dazen is hosting an event out at Cedar Creek. Don't know what time it starts. I think it's at 11 or
it's
noon.
At noon. I saw the banner outside and it said noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you got free time, check it on out. Bull Bash and should be fun. So very, very cool. Wear your mask. Don't forget to wear your mask out there. All right, Chairwoman. Earlier you mentioned the fire at CBQ. That's at the old sawmill, right? Is there any other fires going on the res that you are aware of?
Yes, the Bonita. Well, people are saying Bonito, and I get the reports as Bonita fire, and it started on April 19. It's at 1,500 acres. There's 172 personnel on the fire, 0% containment. The smoke is visible on the 60 and 260, and today's fire activity is expected to be pretty moderate to increase because of the winds. You know how the wind starts getting real hectic by noon in the afternoon. But there are some road closures that you ought to know about, and this is for the BIA roads. So please don't go near the area of the fire. We need those roads open for the fire personnel to be able to get to and from those locations. But the Y70, the junction of Y70 and Y40, the junction of R55 and R32 and R55 and R20, White Mountain Zone Type 3 assume command of the fire. So they are working on that. And the winds, yesterday, I understand we got a little bit of snow flurries and a little bit of rain, which kind of helped a little bit. And, these fires are pretty dangerous, and always be very careful with campfires and any type of combustible. Even a chainsaw can spark something. It just takes one little spark to start a fire. So you have to be very careful, and especially when you're hauling a trailer. Jerry, I've seen people hauling flatbeds or other types of trailers, and right out on the hitch, there's like a chain that's
Yeah.
hanging down, and the chain hits the pavement, and all these sparks are going. And then that spark, if the wind blows that spark off of the road, then that's where we have those fires. So we have to be very careful.
Okay. So yesterday, folks, last Saturday, we showed how to properly extinguish a fire. Just drown it, literally drown it. Lots of water over it, lots of water. So drown those fires and report it as soon as you see it. And the last thing, all of us, we can help. How? By praying. Okay. So my little granddaughter was praying for rain. And she was so excited yesterday. Pappy, I prayed for rain. Look, it's raining. So yeah, power of prayer, my little granddaughter. All right, Chairwoman, this past week was Earth Week, and on Thursday was Earth Day. And our office, along with Human Resources and Health Benefits and Fair and Rodeo Office and council offices, we were all out there literally on the side of the highway from Honda Casino going towards McNary. And then we kind of finished off right near the Honda Sports Shop, but much cleaner. Good job. Thank you to everyone. And yeah, you have any comments and you want to introduce the next video?
Yeah, the Earth Day, we try to do that every year. Last year, COVID kind of messed things up, but this year we were able to get all the departments to help. So thank you. Special thanks to Environmental Protection Office and to Solid Waste and to all the departments who went and did their part to pick up trash in the neighborhoods, on the highways, just wherever it was needed, and all the illegal dumping places. They got to those as much as they could. And we have to remember that in order for Mother Earth to take care of us, we need to take care of Mother Earth too. And that means no illegal dumping. Wherever you go, what you pack in, pack it out, and do your best to clean up everything. Shouldn't be anything out there. And we need to continue to practice that daily, weekly, monthly, all around every year. And it helps us to be good stewards of the land and around our homes and yard, everywhere. And make sure you properly dispose of tires. You can't just take a tire to the landfill. There's some criteria on how those are to be disposed of. So please be careful. And here's a little video from our councilman for District 3 at this time, who helped us pick up trash that day. I had an event with Blue Ridge High School students in the morning. And then once that was done, I immediately changed into my clothes and my safety vests for that roadside activity, and went and helped, picked up a lot of trash. And it was very, I want to say, disappointing to see a lot of a certain type of trash out there. And we just really need to work on keeping the earth nice and clean. But here's a video. Let's take a look from Councilman DeClay.
I just want to say thank you, all the staff of Chairwoman and personnel and tribal council staff, secretaries, fair office. We picked up trash probably since 8:30, 9 o'clock from Honda to McNary Pit, and then from a smoke shop to, I don't know what this place is called, old lumberyard here in Honda. But do your part. Let's keep us Mother Earth clean, okay? Thank you. By the way, I'm Alvin DeClay, Councilman, District 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Alvin, just down which was the trash na rin hole. Speda that go other and still it was and really appreciate his help and now he's off to another meeting and we wanna thank him for his help. Thank you, Councilman DeClay.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Chairwoman, it looks a very big improvement. Awesome job from everyone and the darn win, what you just picked up. Yeah.
Yes.
And are you still sore? Are you still sore kind of? How can you get sore from picking up trash? You can.
Yeah.
Man, 2.5 hours of doing that.
Some heavy items there too, like plastic items. Then you're picking up,
I was very disappointed in picking up a whole bunch of those little plastic whiskey or vodka type trash. I just don't understand why they throw it out. I didn't like that, but it's much cleaner now, and so hopefully those that are watching can talk to your relations that don't get a chance to talk or see this, and tell them, hey, we got to stop. We can't keep throwing things out like that. And so do your part, just like the councilman said, just like you said. So very well done, Chairwoman. Okay, well, that was great. A lot of coordination with the EPO to get all the departments involved. And so thank you very much, all departments, all tribal employees that helped out. It was a mandatory event. And so you did awesome. Thank you. Also, Chairwoman, that same day we were picking up, a respected elder came by. And so he parked next to me, and I asked permission from him if I could do a short video and if he can talk to the police, because we had a recent police event, and if he can talk to the youth. And so respected elder, United States Marine veteran, and retired from the police force, I think over 40 years, I think. So if Mr. Producer could play the video, and then Chairwoman, you can make your commentary, I guess. Okay. So Mr. Ruben Kisei came by to stop.
This is Jerry Glochet Jr., Chief of Staff for the Office of the Chairwoman. Just did my little area here on Earth Day, cleaned it up, but as it so happens, we're here with distinguished guests here, ladies and gentlemen. Meet Ruben Kisei, 48 to 50 years service to White River Police Department, United States Marine Corps veteran, and highly respected elder. How you doing, Mr. Kisei? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Just fine. We're gonna stay at home.
Oh, you stay at home. Okay. How's the family doing? You and everyone.
My wife and I, we just stuck because of this virus going around. We just haven't gone anywhere. We just stay at home and maybe go to the stores and then come back and hang around with the grandkids.
Oh, I'll tell you what. You sure look good, and thank you for all the service that you've done with the police department. We just recently had Dispatchers Week, and I think they're planning for Police Week. Do you have any advice for our new officers that just got sworn in?
Well, just do your job and be the main thing is just being honest and straightforward, and you're there to help the people. To protect and serve is about all.
Okay. Well, Mr. Kisei, we're going to get going here, but do you have general comments to all the people of White Mountain Apache Tribe? Just general advice to the younger generation?
Younger generation, well, when I was working for gaming, I remember a lot of young kids trying to get in there, trying to get jobs, and the only thing that knocked them out was maybe a marijuana stick here and there, and you try to tell them they feel bad because, you know, they gave all kinds of excuses that they've been in there about, they get eliminated for 6 months or a year, depending on what kind of drugs. Just to stay away from that, it's not hard. Just stay away from people that get involved in that kind of stuff. It's
Okay.
it's not easy. It's not hard to do. It's just pretty simple, really, just to walk a straight line.
Okay. Well, you sure look good and healthy. I hope when I become your age, I will look the same way. So you take care of yourself. Say hello to your wife and the family, and God bless you. Okay.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, Chairwoman, any comments on?
You know, there's been a lot of talk in the United States right now on police officers. Police officers, you know, they're responsible to be accountable, to help calm where there's chaos. And it seems lately that they're also have a responsibility to become somewhat like social, how would I say it? Tune into someone's mental state and try to talk them through a situation. And our police officers, like all police officers, do so much, and they are held accountable for their actions. They are responsible to wear the badge, but it also falls back on us, the community, to help them, to obey the laws, to do our best to be good citizens, to make a better community. And Ruben has served in that capacity for many, many years. He's an esteemed, retired law enforcement officer. He is the caliber of people that represent the badge, and that wisdom, that counsel that didn't come overnight. It came with years and years and years of sacrifice, going out every day, doing the duty and answering the call. And it's a very thin line they walk, because you're never guaranteed a return trip home every day you leave the door. And that's why we as citizens also need to do our best to do what's right, to obey the laws, and to cooperate, and you know, just be better citizens. We're all a work in progress, but we can create that good community. And Ruben, you know, he comes with a lot of wisdom, knowledge. He's a wisdom keeper, and he wants our officers to do their job, and they are doing their job. And hats off to our police officers, our tribal police force. They work long hours. They help us every Wednesday to distribute the food. And when I asked questions, they're very responsive, and they do answer a lot of phone calls, and there's not enough of them for the 1 million plus acres we live on for them to go and patrol, but they're doing their best, and we're so very grateful to them. And we're grateful to Ruben. He's a very, very esteemed elder of our tribe, comes with a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and he's served on various committees. And we look to him for his guidance and his counsel, because he has lived it, he has sacrificed it, and he understands the needs of the Apache people. And so that was a great testament to who he is and the caliber of person that Ruben reflects.
Very well said, Chairwoman. Thank you. He just happened to drive by, and he appreciated he was telling me before we did the video about everybody coming together as one to clean our reservation like that. He was very proud of us, the people, and so as an elder, he just wanted to say that. And I was glad that he stopped by. So he looks well. Good.
Yeah,
Good
he
job.
does. Yeah.
Okay, Chairwoman, we also this week, I understand there is an ordination of a new pastor. Do you want to introduce this segment?
Yes, we have, right after the show, I'll be making my way down to Canyon Day Miracle Church, and we have an ordination ceremony of an individual who has been serving God in all facets of his life, and he will become the pastor of Canyon Day Miracle Church. And he comes from a very strong family, Christ-centered, and respectful of who we are as Apaches and what we do. And as a pastor, he will fulfill that responsibility of being a shepherd of the people, gathering the flock and teaching them, providing wisdom, guidance, and counsel, and doing his part to be a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And that's Pastor Ken Billy. He had an activity last night at 6 o'clock, and today at noon will be the ordination ceremony for Pastor Ken Billy. And we want to congratulate him and his acceptance to serve in that position. And the Canyon Day Miracle Church had lost its Bishop Tate. He left this world, and our thoughts and prayers to his family. But the shoes that will be filled is from Pastor Ken Billy, and we're very, very grateful for his leadership and for all of the pastors on the reservation and all of the traditional people who also pray. Prayer is very, very unique to our people and to everybody out there as well, Indigenous people. And it helps center us to our Creator and to everything all around us. And it has helped us time and time again. And we're very, very humbled. And I'm humbled to have been asked to go and speak, and very, very grateful and looking forward to it.
Good. And so Pastor Billy and your congregation, your family, pray for us, all of us, sinners and those that are even the newborns and the elders. Pray for the future, our water, our mountains, our just everything. And I'm always amazed, Chairwoman, when we grow up, we, go to school, we become something eventually what we're going to be as an adult. And
Yeah.
I've always admired those that become into, priesthood or pastorship or reverendhood, and so Ken Billy was a quiet person. At least I thought of him that way, just me. But now he's there, and so such a good man. Excellent. So
Yeah.
that's wishes
Yes.
to him.
Yes,
All right.
Hey, Jerry,
Yes.
real quickly before we go on, when you get a lifetime trophy tag for a ram, it's like once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's very, either you're gonna get one or not, and if you don't get one, you're like, that's the only chance you have. I just got a photo that I want to show everybody. So, Mr. Producer, if you could please put that up there. Look at that.
Wow.
Lee-Gatewood got that today, this morning. And look at that. It's his trophy once in a lifetime.
Whoa.
Trophy bighorn sheep on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation. Look at the mass on that ram. Congratulations, Lee-Gatewood. My goodness.
Golly.
I know.
That's got to be, I don't know how to judge that, but that's the biggest I've seen. The biggest, what's it called?
The ram, the deeper the curl, the better the score, the mass, the head. Mass. Everything is just spot on. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's from the homeland of White Mountain Apache tribe. Hey, so
Hey,
good.
Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
you know,
Congratulations.
Lee also is very skilled at heavy duty equipment, and he helped the community of Sibique dig a trench and a fire line the night I called, like at 11 at night, to Rick DeValentino, and immediately Land Ops and all the other WMATCO departments went to Sibique to go help. And I understand Lee was instrumental in just creating that line so the fire would not get to the power line poles. So there again is another fine Apache person. And he's also a trophy elk guide and boots on the ground, knows the land forwards and backwards. My goodness, congratulations.
Congratulations, Lee, and hello, Katie, his wife,
Yeah, his
and
wife,
all
Katie.
the Lee family. Congratulations, you have a gem in
Once
Lee
in a
Ade.
lifetime. Wow.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. So very interesting program so far, Chairwoman. All kinds of different stuff. And here's another one. Here's a for the youth. Before we go to the photo, we got a video first, okay? And so the video can kind of introduce this. But you and I happened to go to the skateboard rink, the local makeshift, homemade kind of a skateboard facility, I guess, and I was really impressed. And I understand it's getting bigger and bigger. But before we go to your comment, Mr. Producer, would you please show the very brief video? It's going to be a short video, people, so don't go nowhere. See this because it's only 7 seconds, okay? All right, producer. So that is Rylan Gusion, and he was there when we got there, and he made several attempts on that. That is a big drop, about 4 feet, and maybe, yeah. And now that's the photo. And on this photo, he nailed it. That skateboard underneath his shoes twisted a full circle, and look at his hands. He's like an Apache Eagle, and he landed on the skateboard, and I don't know how you say it, but rolled away, I guess, into the sunset. It's like, wow. So I was very happy to take that video and this photo, and I think it went into the Apache Scout. And so go by the Apache Scout, check it out. Rylan Gusion, correct?
Rylan.
Rylan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the skateboarders, they're becoming more and more popular. And I've helped sponsor a few of the tournaments. I'm looking to help sponsor another one. And that those kids have been busy fundraising, and we've been helping however we can. Kids, when they have that want to, you can see it in their eyes. They want something and they're working for it. We're helping however we can to make that a reality. And just the physical activity that goes into it, the friendships, they were very, very cordial. And they actually were there, Jerry, to help pick up trash. The skateboarders were doing their part to go and pick up trash because it was Earth Week. And very, very grateful to them. And sometimes they'll comment on my Facebook photos or some kind of something. And my son also is a skateboarder, and he kind of tells me some of the terminology. But this one time I didn't know that sick meant like that's really great. And so I saw it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they said it's sick. And my son's like, no, Mom, that means it's good.
Yeah, like, oh no, okay, yeah, good. So the future, people of White Mountain Apache Tribe, we got to do something for our youth like this. Those that maybe might not want to play basketball or other sports, but they are in love with something, and some might choose hunting or photography or hiking and stuff, but we have skateboarders. And so I think the chairwoman, I know so, because I'm her chief of staff, I'm in the office. She is on this. She's on it right now. Can't announce too much, but we're going to do what we can to do something even better yet with that little facility, that little skateboard area that they have. So we're going to try our best, and so could use your prayers, use your support, and we can come together and make the youth even more powerful with smiles and just staying out of trouble, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Chairman.
Yeah, they're skateboarding. It's the physical activity, and you have to hand it to the kids. They fall. They don't just lay there and give up. They get up again because they want to master. They want to master the particular trick that they're going to do, and they keep working at it. That's the glimmer of hope, that drive, that determination in those children. You want to get in on that and make sure they get to be a successful child and grow into a good, responsible citizen as an adult. And basketball may not be for every kid. That's okay. We've got skateboarders. We have people that play chess. We have people that do photography. We have kids that do robotics. You know, Jaden, Class A, is going to the world finals in robotics, Jerry, and he's from our reservation. And that says a lot for our kids. And we want to raise confident, strong kids so that when they get to be our age, they'll be trailblazers and leaders. And we want that. We have to invest in our children and love them and discipline them as much as we can. And help them so that they can be good citizens for the future and now. So congratulations to Rylan on being a renowned skateboarder.
Good. Well said. Chairwoman, this past week as well, you were involved in a panel. You were one among a few distinguished tribal leaders talking about water and COVID, and so the two combined. Can you expound on what happened briefly? I noticed, yeah. So, but it was a very good program. I saw parts of it and it's like, yeah, that's my chairwoman right there, right on. Go ahead.
Well, it was water solutions for our warmer world. We are all in tune with how the world is changing, and climate is affecting our ability to have water. Well, water is sacred. Water is central to our lives, our livelihood. And for the White Mountain Apache people, the presentation was about COVID-19 and how water contributes to that in our fight to COVID-19, and the virus spread on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation attributed to the several key factors of water. That time, Jerry, when we went on lockdown and we had a water break, remember, we had to just let go of the lockdown so people could go get the water, because during the pandemic, people need to wash their hands. That was the first basic rule. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, and you need water for that. And without the storage reservoir for our people during the summer is when we get in trouble with water shortages. So that presentation dealt with how the tribe has been affected by water shortages and the different areas that that has a lack of water during certain times of the year, and how we need to improve our water pipelines for our people, and COVID-19 and its impact. And as tribal chairwoman, I was very humbled and honored to be on a panel with President Nez and various other esteemed leaders who are experts in their profession where it deals with water and the health and safety of our people. And the one takeaway that I explained to the students that were watching was that water is sacred. So our people are sacred. Mother Earth is sacred. All of those things you can't ever replace. So we need to do our part to make sure that we can get the essentials that we need. We live in the United States and it's 2021, and we shouldn't have a need for having to, get water. We should have it readily available. And
Yeah.
Chairman Lupi, God rest his soul, has been working tirelessly for 40 plus years to get our people the pipeline and the Minor Flat Dam completed. And the work is still in progress. We're still working with the leaders in DC, the state, us here, all these people that have an interest, SRP, you name it. We're all working together for the common good cause for our people and also for metropolitan Phoenix area. So it was a great presentation. Very, very humbled by the other tribal leaders who did their presentation, and how a lot of them, majority of their communities, they have to go and haul water, travel for hours and get water and then take it home. So very,
And
very.
Chairwoman, stay right there. Don't, producer. No, not me. Can you go back to Chairwoman? But leave my voice on. Look at behind you, the tribal seal. You just mentioned other tribes have to go, get their water a long ways, a lot of work. We, on our Great Seal, this is made from the late Chairman Lupi and the late Billy Kane, this Great Seal, 32 symbols. Right in the middle center of it is water flowing from the mountains and right to our Gowan, our house. And so that's how important it is to us, the White Mountain Apache tribe. And so we're very fortunate. Let's take care of this, our land, our mountains, our water, our animals, everything. So just be good stewards. All right, Chairwoman, good job on the presentation. And you nailed it, and you represented the tribe very well. Also, Chairwoman, this past Wednesday was I forgot, Administrative Professionals Day. Okay, can you expound what you did just briefly, real quick?
I wish I had one of those cups, but Pine Top Coffee House donated a lot of coffee mugs, probably a good size, and we filled it up with candy, and we had a thank you card in there and masks, whatever we could fit in the mug, and we distributed it to all the professionals, administrative professionals out there. The supervisors came back and told us, here's my administrative, professional folks, and very, very great way to just say thank you. If I had the ability, I'd have been like, you know what, let's do something else financially for you, but just a small gesture of thank you.
Good, well said. And I think those that are behind the scenes help make the departments that much better, to help make the supervisor that much better. And so way to go, administrators, way to go. All right, and then Chairwoman, I guess a couple of photos here, and then we got a young person that's also going to be doing the closing prayer, a good friend of mine. And so, Mr. Producer, if we could go to the picture of the Apache poles, just real quick, I took that at one of the first dances this year, right up the road. And it was the 4 poles. And what do they mean? It's bringing the 4 clans, the 4 winds, the 4 seasons, the 4 directions, bringing us together, tied together. And White Mountain Apache Way, the godparents of a sunrise dance, have the 2 poles, and the co-sponsor has 2 of them, and they're now united as family. And prayers with this, and so I was really proud of this photo too. with the moon way up in the back there. And it was winter, so the leaves, weren't on the two of them. So there's juniper and cedar, walnut, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I I was wrestling around. I left my note there, but anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Culture, and so always don't be afraid to ask questions to the elders or people that know. Okay, that's a good thing. And then also, Chairwoman, the last photo here. After the show last Saturday, a friend of mine, we went out to Earls Park Lake. That's on our reservation and our tribal homeland. And a friend of mine, if you could show the photo, yeah, really beautiful picture there at Earls Park Lake. To the right is towards Holly Lake, which is almost adjoining this lake. And to the left is wilderness. I mean, literally wilderness. Last Saturday, the pastor from Assembly of God Church there in the background had Bigfoot. And then when last Saturday, the Brenda Begay and well, I forget his name at EPO, there was a picture of Bigfoot too. And so I don't know, if Bigfoot is here, he definitely or she lives to the left there because it is extreme wilderness. But it was calm. This was just before the snow came, and then it came, and then it blew out like that. But my friend of mine caught a brown trout. Then he caught a brook trout, and then he caught a rainbow trout. And so there was just one more left, and that's the Apache trout. But he didn't get that. In baseball, when they call the cycle, you get a single, and then at next bat, you get a double, and then at next bat, you get a triple, and then at next bat, you get a home run. That's a cycle. My friend almost got a cycle in the fishing world, if there's such a thing. But that's all right there for you, White Mountain Apache people. Let's protect it. Let's keep it clean, and take your family out. And so, Chairwoman, thoughts on these here?
Wow, just the photo is very serene, very beautiful. Almost looks like a painting. And we have this beautiful reservation that we live on that we call home. And these mountains have seen many, many ancestors come through, and they took care of the land. They took care of one another, and not in a way where they become dependent on someone, but they believed in self-reliance and doing things for themselves, but also working together to achieve their goals and their dreams. And we're their generation, not yet born, back in their day, and their hearts and their minds prayed, and they worked so hard so that we today, the beneficiaries of their hard work, could have what we have today. So it's very important that we continue to take care of the land so it can take care of us, and to pray. We always need to rely on our Creator to help us through our trials and the good times. And life is a learning process, and we're learning something each and every day. And the more that we rely on prayer and trying our best to do good, that becomes part of your legacy, because it's from your heart. And people pick up on that, and then they move forward and do the same. Just like you, if you were taught by your mom, your dad, grandma, whoever influenced you, you still carry that with you. And that's a part of your thank you to them, because you're wanting to do good. You're wanting to be that voice for the people that may not have a voice. And that says a lot about who you are and a testament to your caliber of person. So we can all do our best each and every day. And this is where I always hone in on the children. Start when they're just small and always help them along, discipline them, help them, be there. Don't baby them, when they're older. That's not what I mean. But give them the tools so that when they're older, they can be confident, they can handle the challenges in their life. And yes, they'll come back and ask for wisdom and counsel. And that's where you kneel in prayer with them and then give them that counsel. And then you send them on their way. And our Creator will be very, very grateful because we're all His children. And that's how it can help make a better world than where we are today.
Well said. And so earlier you mentioned pack in, pack out, whatever you pack to the lake, and you going to have a piece of candy bar. Don't leave the paper there. Pack it out, and then when you get back home, throw it in the garbage can. So that's one little thing we can do. But families out there, the fish are biting. I don't know if maybe you miss fish fry, in the mornings. I had 3. I got skunked last Saturday, Chairwoman, and I had a whole bunch of bites, but I just couldn't get it. And my friend, he got 3 of them and almost got a cycle there. Yeah.
Nice. For him to get trout, yeah.
Yeah, but it was interesting, he got a brown and then a brook and then a rainbow, like 3 different species in that one lake. Like, wow. Anyway, all right, Chairwoman, any closing thoughts before we go, or any message? I guess
just, college kids are graduating, high school kids are graduating, Head Start. If Head Start is going to have a graduation, we'd love to show the people out there who's graduating, even shout outs, whatever you want to do. We could do that next weekend and get some graduate photos. I've got one, and I've been so proud of her. She's out in Kansas, out in Heston, Kansas, and she's from McNary. And she's graduating, and she's done a tremendous job putting McNary on the map out there. And that's what we want our kids to do. Just go out and help grow and get good at what they're doing so that they can go and do their part. So proud of that. And we'll focus on that next Saturday too.
Okay. All right. And the only announcement I have is I think we have our last food distribution coming up this Wednesday. It's open to anyone that wants a free box of food. It's valued at about almost $40 worth, and so come and get it. It's absolutely free, and it's open to anyone, everyone. So that's on Wednesday, right between the H Market and the Personnel Building, that area where they used to sell food, the tailgate cafes there. And so that's Wednesday, about 10 in the morning. All right, Chairwoman. Well, we have our closing prayer here, and Mr. Producer, is he here? Hey, there he is. This is Gerald Tenagin Sr. Hey, good morning. And he's the pastor of the, I hope I say this right, Apostolic Church.
Apostolic.
Apostolic. Okay, church at Rainbow City. And this one used to be where they used to have horseshoe pizza. And my friend here is Gerald, and he's very known for me anyways, cross country. Very top runner for 4 straight years, I'll just say Falcons. And then he played a lot of basketball. And so he is a pastor now. And so he's going to conduct the closing prayer today. Welcome, Mr. Tenagin.
Hey, good morning, Chairwoman and Jerry.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you want to share a word with the people, the viewers,
Yeah.
little message, you're more than welcome to do
All right.
so.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you for the invite for Jerry and Chairwoman invited me. Yeah, I'd like to share a short sermon. You guys probably heard it so many times. It's about David and Goliath in 1 Samuel chapter 17, starting from verse 8. I'll read from 8 to 11. Then we'll skip down to 23 and 32. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine, and ye servant to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me, and to kill me, then will be your servants, will I prevail against him, and kill him. And then shall ye be our servants, and serve us. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me man, that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Then he goes to 23, he says, And as he talked with them, behold, there came out the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistine, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. Then we go down to verse 32, And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine. You know, the famous battle described in this Old Testament was not fought between two nations, two armies. It was between two people, and that was David and Goliath. You know, if we go back to one chapter in verse 16 and verse 7, it tells us that, But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not unto his countenance or on the height of the stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. You know, some people talk about that. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. We look at the face, but the Lord looks at the heart. In the story, Goliath had all these things, but that would normally impress and intimidate. And this is how the devil wins. He tries to impress us, and if that doesn't work, he tries to intimidate us. But in the story, David had been given, this ability to see as God sees, and he was neither impressed nor intimidated. You know, whatever circumstance we're going through, yeah, the giant is big, but God is bigger, and God is stronger, and God is greater than anything we might be going through right now. I read earlier in verse 17, that same Samuel 17, verse 1 to 3, it tells us, Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shoko, which belonged to Judith, and pitched between Shoko and Ezekiel and Ephisedim. And Saul and men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on the mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. See, I want you to notice the Bible says there was a valley between them. You know, some of us, when we read our Bible, we overread that, overread the valley, and don't give any thought to what that means about the valley. But I want you to pay attention to that phrase. See, there was a valley between them. Listen to this. It was this valley. It was at the bottom of this canyon that there was a stream, the bedrock that David found 5 smooth stones. He didn't pick up the rocks on the mountaintop. He picked up those rocks in this valley when everything was going great. He picked up what he needed in the valley. It equipped him. Equipped him with what he needed for victory against the giant. So instead of burying yourself in the valley, why don't you start looking for some rocks? Because there's a giant in your future, in our future, and what you're going through today is what's God going to use to give us victory. It looked like war. See, they were prepared for war. It looked like they were ready to fight, and yet for 40 days and 40 nights that we know of, there was no fighting. There was no conquering. There was just a lot of noise. See, in verse 11, on that first saying, why was there only noise, and why was there only there was no fighting? It tells us in verse 11, when Saul and Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Sometimes when we are at the scariest time of our life is when we are the loudest in worship noise and there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. And that verse 4, it tells us, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistine named Goliath of Gath, whose height was about 6 cubits and a span, it says. This guy was a huge man, big man. Goliath was probably 9 feet 9 feet inches, almost 10 foot. You know how big his arm was? If you imagine that, not just his size, but deep, how big his size was, but his intimidating voice. And David was probably half of his size. He was probably about not even as maybe not even 5'8" maybe, because in verse 5 it tells us, and he had a helmet of brass upon his head and was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spears had weight 600 shekels of iron, and one barren shield went before him. You see, this is how giants win. They impress. If we're not, they intimidate. And then he goes down to verse 8 and says, and he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are ye come to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants, but I prevail against him and kill him. Then shall ye be our servants and serve us. That's what it tells us in that verse 9. And then see, notice here, we either conquer the enemy or the enemy is going to conquer us. And then on that same chapter, on 16, and the Philistine drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days. Every morning and every evening he came flaunting his size, he came flaunting his weapons. And there he comes David. David was just a young kid. His dad told him to go check on his brothers who are part of the army. Go check on your brothers and tell me what's going on over there. Bring me some news back, David. Go check on your brothers, David, and go in to fight. Go fight. It was just another day, just like any other 40 days and 40 nights. That's the way it is in life. You don't know what day it's going to be, but I'll tell you, there's something. There's going to be no warning or no update, no planning. But the truth is, the 41st day of Goliath's challenge will be the last day of his life, and it will be the first day of David's heroic life. See, in verse 24, it tells us that. And the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were so afraid. David has never seen the giant and never heard the challenge. In verse 8, Goliath said all of this, but David wasn't there until verse 23. And he said, and he talked with them. Behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of his armies of the Philistine, and spake according to the same words. And David hurt them. He said David hurt them there. See, David has never seen the giant and never heard the challenge, and never heard the challenge. See, the devil keeps running his mouth until the right person hears it. And when the right person hears everything, it's going to change for 40 days. Goliath cried and cried and cried, but on the 41st day, that cry produced a call in David. And Goliath never opened his mouth again. There's going to be a day, son, whatever you're going to, whatever you're fighting right now. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your finance, maybe it's your family, maybe it's this COVID-19, this pandemic. God is going to give you victory, and you don't ever have to deal with that giant again, son. You never have to deal with it. In verse 25, it says, and the men of Israel said, have you seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up, and shall be, that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. Some of us are hard pressed to name some victories that God have pulled us off from. Some using the past, not so with David. He said, I can fight Goliath because that same God that gave me power over a lion, and that same God that gave me power over a bear, will give me power over this giant. Let me tell you something today. That same God that gave you victory in 2020, you passed that code, that hard time of that COVID, will give you victory this year in 2021. That same God that healed you last year, that same God that healed you last month, that same God will give you victory again next month. Prayer may look old-fashioned. Worship may look simple, but the Word of God may seem outdated, but God still uses those things to give us victory today. Just like he used a slingshot. Balona that he did you and says on the stone, in our day to day, COVID-19 is like a Goliath, a giant, and David is us, David is you. We may be hiding in fear greatly, so afraid and frustration, but let there be a David that's you. God is going to come down and fight through us in the Lord's battle. He gives us strength. He gives us strength to whatever we're going through. He gives us that strength, and that's the strength that He's going to give us. He tells us how greater is He that is in me, that is in the world. So I just want to share that short testimony, and let's do that closing prayer now. Let us pray. Yeah, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come here before you today. Lord, we ask that we be a David, and like David, we come overcome. Let us be an overcomer, conquerors, Lord, giants such as this COVID, the wildfires that we are here today, or health, or finance, and any current situation as the school district, we're on to phase 3. Lord, give us strength to fight and be conquerors. Lord, continue to bless this Fort Apache Indian Reservation, Lord. Bless our leaders, Lord. Bless our chairwoman, Lord. The vice chairman and all the tribal council and all the administration team, Lord. I speak unity over them. God bless you.